This episode is sponsored by Vogue Energy Chewables, made with superfoods right here in the United States. All-day support for clear thinking, mental focus, and a good mood. You eat one mid-morning and another mid-afternoon. Check out vogue-energy.com and get Voked. And we are back with Bronwyn and Jamie talking about all things money and finance, but in an easy way, not an intimidating way. You ladies are doing such a great job of guiding us, helping us learn how do I make sure that I've got money aside if something bad happens in my lifetime to myself or a family member. How do I start thinking about saving money even if I'm living paycheck to paycheck? When we get to that next stage of investing, that can feel so out of reach when we are struggling just to pay the bills and get our day-to-day expenses taken care of. What are some good tips that we can wrap our hands around if we're just getting started with investing?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Christy. So for me, when I came to Bronwyn and said, teach me all the things, right? What am I missing? Why am I working so hard but not getting ahead? Mm-hmm. One flawed thought that I had, and I think it's important to be vulnerable, is I, somewhere along the road of life, picked up this thought that we had to have this, large sum of money somewhere to be able to
because society makes you feel that way.
And Scrooge McDuck. I grew up watching a cartoon that was literally a rich man Scrooge McDuck diving in his pit of money.
Yes.
So yeah, this is what's fed to us from a young age.
And that was the answer from the bank to me is I didn't have any savings, so sorry.
You're not worth speaking to.
So oddly enough, I didn't have this, pit of money to be jumping into, right? But what I did have was the opportunity to complete a complementary financial needs analysis where I was able to go through kind of these 7 money milestones and start to build this financial roadmap, right? And so that's what we get to do whenever we sit down with families and we get to teach them one, financial education, right? Because that's huge. That's where we have to start.
And what even is that? Financial education, if I don't know what that even involves. Yes. Start with the book, which I love the titles of these. Stop Being a Sucker.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you backstory of why our authors out in Atlanta named it Stop Being a Sucker. Because the one place that I personally went to for the financial education, when you walk into your bank, what's the one thing sitting on the countertop?
They give away the lollipops.
Well, and not just any suckers. What are they?
Dum-dums.
Dum-dums.
I never noticed that, but you're right.
We want
you
to
right.
Stop being a sucker. Stop being suckered out of your money and educate yourself.
I love it. I derailed. Sorry about that, Jamie. But even that term,
right?
Financial education can feel like, what is that?
Yep, we start there. And then we look at how do we have proper protection in place, right? Think of all the things that you insure. Your cell phone, your car, your house.
Your pets sometimes. People pay more money for their pets than themselves and the roof over their head.
Right.
Yes.
But we kind of shy away from having life insurance, right? We shy away from protecting our own lives. And so we educate why that's so important and how you can use our life insurance with living benefits in real time, right? We look at building emergency funds with people.
Okay.
Most people don't know that you actually need 3 to 6 months of your income sitting in an emergency fund, right? And let's face it, if America can't cover a $400 tire blowout that happens,
you're not going to cover that. You're not going to cover 3 to 6 months.
We certainly don't have the 3 to 6 months sitting there, right? So we start to teach you how to make that possible, right? For some, we look at how to manage their debt, right? Mm-hmm. How do we start paying off the higher interest credit cards and start to, take away some of that debt that over time we have all incurred because costs just continue to fly through the roof, right?
Is part of that too looking at good debt versus bad debt?
Absolutely.
Yes. As you two nod together in unison, absolutely.
Yes, 100%, right? And again, that's kind of teaching and helping to navigate that mindset shift, right? Yeah. Not all debt is bad.
Yes.
So that's huge. We help people really dive deeper into looking at their cash flow right? How do we manage our expenses? And quite frankly, I think one of my favorite parts is how do you expand your income?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we will definitely dive deeper into that later with you guys.
A lot of people are shocked by that when they sit down with us is because it's such a big piece to let them know that, by the way, most homes are experiencing this right now. Most households are experiencing how do I cut back when all of my expenses are just needs?
Yes.
And so having that conversation that it's normal now, which we'll go into here in a little bit, it's normal to expand household income. It's just being educated once again on how to do that.
Yes. And I feel like that's a shift too that has happened for us in the last 10 to 15 years of really it's not a fun extra thing, but now it's a necessity and nobody's educating you about that. So that's wonderful you're touching on that.
Yeah. We also chat with them on how to build wealth, right? And this is a layered process, right? Like we're not talking about this on our initial.
You're not tackling it all at once.
No.
Right.
That'd be too overwhelming.
Yeah, this is all a very layered process, and it's all as we're building trust and moving through life with them, right? But it's important to not only shed some hope that you can build wealth, but then you actually get to teach them how to do that, right? We get to teach them the different, ways that money is taxed. We get to teach them different accounts that your money can be in so that as your money grows, you actually don't get taxed on the growth of that money.
Yes.
I mean, these are well-kept secrets of the wealthy, of Disney, of Pampered Chef, of all these incredible companies that we all deserve
to have access
available to every single person in America. I don't care if you make $1,000 or $10,000.
Yeah.
You should have the access to all of this, and it is accessible to you. It's just knowing where to find it.
Yeah. And so it's incredible to be able to show them that, right? And kind of navigate them down those paths. And then lastly, we look at how do you protect your wealth, right? Because once we're building, and once we get to the top of this mountain, right? How do we protect the mountain? How do we protect that wealth for your family?
Everything you've worked so hard for.
Yeah. And so we look at setting up trust, setting up wills, making sure that, you and your legacy that you have built here is truly something that is going to be generational and impact, waves of family to come.
And that is so important to so many of us. Yes, we want to care for ourselves, but the thought of letting down our loved ones can be almost the most painful piece. So I love that you touch on that as well.
Yeah.
I want to talk about one more thing in this segment, and that is piggybacking on what we were just discussing, that it honestly isn't enough to just have your day job or even maybe the two jobs that you're working anymore. So many Americans have got the side hustle. And it's some for some it's for fun, which is great, but for many of us it is I need that extra money coming in. There is nowhere else to cut back. What can we realistically expect starting a side hustle? Because I know that it is not what I see on Instagram of I work 4 hours a day and made $1 million while I was drinking this pina colada.
Please stay away from all of that.
Yeah.
I'll give you a few examples. My brain's just going as you're talking about
and what should we be doing as side hustles too is another question.
Yes. So yes, be careful of what you join, what you follow, vet it out, do your research. I know that we're so hungry to make money, but if it's a get quick, rich, whatever, stay away from it.
Yeah, it's just
because every successful person in this country or in the world has put in the work.
Yes.
Some of them have done it faster than others, but there is nothing that will get you wealthy overnight. So be careful. Side hustles used to be a thing that stay-at-home moms did just to, bring in extra money to take the kids to Disneyland or whatever you're trying to do. However, now in 2024, with the inflation of things, we all know how much everyone loves to talk about how much eggs cost or how much gas is, right? Yes. It's now a norm for there to be side hustles in the households for the husband and wife or spouse or significant other, for both people to be doing, because we need to bring in that extra income. People sometimes frown upon someone that has a side hustle. The embarrassment or judging or frowning needs to stop.
Yes.
Because every household needs it, and it's not weird anymore.
No.
It's not what's that MLM you're doing? Is it a scam? Is it, right? It's not that anymore. So start supporting your friends, your sisters, your brothers, your spouses in that side hustle, because let me tell you, an extra $500 a month could make a massive difference for your family and could actually have you retire. Where if you don't do that and you don't have that extra income to put away every month, you're going to be working until the day you die.
Ooh. That is such a powerful statement you just made. And we talked about earlier the idea of seeing perhaps an older person who we think should be retired and they're having to work. And that's, if you want to work, wonderful, but to have the choice and to know if I make $500, that's much more manageable than, shoot, I need to be making thousands and thousands each month, that can be a real game changer.
Yeah.
Ladies, we are running out of time for this segment, but if you want to get in contact, learn more from either of you, we have BreaktimeU.com/money. And then where can we follow you if we want to see what you're up to in your wealth wave worlds?
So Instagram handle, The Money Barbie.
The Money Barbie. I love it. Thank you both. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Thank you.